Leg 6 started with a blessing from Desmond Tutu.
We set you off on this, the last 2 legs of a grueling, the most grueling and much the most difficult yacht race in the world. We commend you, we salute you for accomplishing the demanding leg of Sydney to Cape Town. You are the catch whisters. Hi!
Cliff Scott, Anne Weir and skipper Conrad Humphreys, the crew of LG Flatron.
As they left Cape Town, the crews began to think about the 6-week leg that lay ahead. The doldrums, the Canary Islands and Madeira would be crucial to success in the light winds that were expected during the leg to La Rochelle. There was the usual pre-start tension.
3, 2, 1, go! Okay, let's get out of here. Let's go! Full power!
LG Flatron was second across the line and the crew was brimming with confidence about the race ahead.
Making a good one, guys! Leon!
First around the windward mark, Flatron led the fleets of boats and supporters out of Table Bay. Compact, LG's nearest rival, had got better wind further offshore and took the lead. Team LG would struggle over the next 6 weeks to take back the lead, but without success. In the light winds that characterised Leg 6, and which would ultimately lead to the postponement of Leg 7, racing was very close. Intense concentration was needed to sail faster than the competitor.
Trim! Okay. It's taken us 4 hours to get past them, but we finally managed it at 7:45.
As the days passed, the winds became even lighter.
We had a completely flat, glassy sea, and you could just see the wind coming right from the horizon, bowling towards us, and you could see the circles of wind, like ice flows on the water.
When it comes to food on board, we have about a tonne to keep us going this particular leg. We get 2 packets like this per day, so when it's unpacked, this is the amount of food that 18 people will eat in one day. This is my first mother watch, first duty of the day, making the bread. Just kneading it, just like this. And one of the other fun duties of being on mother watch is having to clean the boat from bow to stern. That also includes the heads. And on tonight's menu, another first for me, corned beef hash. Right, just in case you thought this was a magic oven, here's the disaster of the day. Problems of downwind sailing, the old meringue wouldn't set.
It's as if there's like a vision of the burning fiery furnace from the Bible, almost. Layers of molten lava.
Despite the calm weather, equipment still needed attention from Bob the builder. With the pole repaired, the crew could get back to the frequent spinnaker peels.
John!
Although they faced the same light winds, LG's rivals were making bolder moves to stay ahead.
Very, very frustrating first 3 or 4 days, very light. And some boats made gains out onto the right, others on the left, and we kind of just took the middle road, which didn't pay.
Okay.
Unless Team LG got a lucky break with the weather, it was just a case of sailing as fast as possible to catch the leaders. fleet was well spread out as each boat looked for the quickest route through the doldrums. But first, the new leggers had to celebrate crossing the equator.
Here we go. 6, 4, 2,
There it is. Hey!
For those crossing the equator for the first time by sea, you automatically receive an invitation for an audience with King Neptune. Or actually, I think a summons would be more appropriate.
Upstairs.
I see the last time I was here you were doing slightly better than this. Is this down to these 3 individuals? Andy, your biggest crime was to confirm that you were using this trip to lose weight. Andy, take 5 read. You are granted permission to the Northern Hemisphere. This small little penalty. Today is a bit of a low point for LG Flatron. Having decided to go out to the left, we seem to be us and Quadstone that are the 2 boats that have lost more miles than the rest of the fleet.
We're looking at a doldrums squall ticket. The wind has been a little disappointing. We're really hoping for a kick-ass 30+ knots.
Between the calm patches lurked squall clouds. The rain was a great opportunity for a wash. And when it wasn't raining, practicing using a sextant was a welcome diversion from the heat.
There we go. That's smack on the horizon. And you can work out how high the sun is up in the sky. And from that you can work out through all sorts of clever tables what the latitude is. 5 miles out on a not particularly brilliant sighting.
Once we got through the Canaries, we kind of got back into the swing of things. We worked our way. The lead boats got very close to Madeira and actually stopped in the lee in the shadow of Madeira, and it meant that we caught back up to 30 miles behind the lead.
With the doldrums behind them, racing hotted up again. It was a drag race again, and constant spinnaker trimming was vital. After nearly 30,000 miles of close racing, Flatron was beginning to show signs of wear and tear.
Came on watch this morning, and after shaking a reef, I noticed that about 5 or 6 rivets on the main track had sheared off, and the actual track itself had been pulled away from the rig by about 1.25 inches.
Bob the Builder's miraculous repair was just in time for the final push to Cape Finisterre. The Cape is known for violent storms, but Flatron rounded it in glorious sunshine. As the lightweight spinnaker sheet parted, a refocused Team LG crossed the line into La Rochelle in 8th place.
I think we were probably a little overcautious with this leg, with our tactics. It was a leg that required some probably bolder moves, and we played the middle ground because we had a comfortable margin, and it's cost us this leg. We've come in 8th, but we're pretty philosophical about it. It's now done and dusted. No recriminations, no blame. We just move on and think about leg 7 and obviously a podium position.